Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Magnus, and today we're going to install the gateways, or the cluster so to say. And the cluster will be able to provide us internet to both the Windows 10 machine and to the management station. So that will be quite nice to finally get internet on this one and to really be able to use the checkpoint as it's supposed to be. So I was thinking like this: we will install the gateways on R80.40, and that gives us the possibility to also do an upgrade to R80.40. This is not really included in the CCSA, but it's included in the CCSE, and it's always nice to get some extra. So let's download the R80.40 version. So we go to Checkpoint website and then you search for R80.40. So you come to this one. And you see here like the recommended default version is R80.40. So in the production environment you should install this one. So let's click on download, and we're doing a clean installation, and we're doing a gateway. So you see here is a different one for security management and a different one for security gateway, and we are doing a clean installation. So we take this one, and this is an R80.40 T200. That's the one you should use. And you see that this image can be used for all this type of appliance, and the important one for us is the open servers, because it's in VMware, so it's more or less counted as an open server. He also sees some limitation with the standalone installation, that all appliances can't take standalone, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to go for a standalone installation. That's just, I think it's wrong. I think you lose so much on it, so it's not worth it. So let's download this one. Download. And we're going to put it in the folder that we have shared to the VMware installation, to the Windows 10 and so on. So just save. Okay, so the file is downloaded. So let's start the VM server. So let's go back to this one. And then File, New Virtual Machine, and Custom, and Workstation 15. And we will select a different installation file. It's actually possible to use exactly the same installation file as you did before if you want to go directly to R80.40, but in our case I think we should just try to upgrade as well. So that's why we're going for R80.40. So here we have R80.40 T200. Open, next, and it's the Linux, and it's the Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5 64 bits. And we will call this CP Gateway 1, and I will put it in a different location. And we did need minimum 2 CPUs for this one, according to the specs, but I will run it with 4. I have the possibility to have some more cores, so I'll just do it. And when it comes to memory, I think we will go for 4 gigabytes. And here we will have different, we will have multiple network interfaces. So just keep with this one for now. We will add more network interfaces. We will have, I will say 3 for each gateway. So next, 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 create a new virtual disk, and we will go for 200 gigs. We're going to try to upgrade. We need some bigger disk, or maybe we go for 250. So gateway, and here we need to customize the hardware because we need to add more NICs. So we will have 2 more adapters, network adapter and network adapter. And let's check in our PowerPoint. So here we have our setup. So we will have 1 interface to VMnet 6, and then we will have 1 interface here between the 2 members in VMnet 15. And then we will have VMnet 8 for external internet. And we will try to get it so they are in order. So Ethernet 0, most likely that's network interface 1, so to say. So let's try this. So 8, 6, 15. So let's put this on 8. Let's put this on 16. Oh, 6 I mean. And let's put this to 15. Like this. So now we have 3 different segments, and this will be the internal one where we have the Windows machine and the checkpoint management server. This will be the external one to internet, and VMnet 15 will be our synchronization interface between the 2 cluster members, because of course we need to install this in a cluster. No one is installing a checkpoint within a single gateway. You always should do it in clusters. And we have the file, and it's connected to power on, 4 gigs, 4 CPUs. I mean, you can do it here for 2 if you don't have enough power in your box. But I will do it like this, and then close and finish. So before we power this on, because we actually only want to have one interface connected when we do the installation, so I will do edit machine, and I will disconnect both VMnet 8 and VMnet 15, and you will see the reason why I'm doing this soon, because when we power this one on and we want to install the Gaia system, let's press here, install Gaia on the system. It's the same installation process for this one as it is for the management station, because the real configuration, this is only like the hardware, the interface, the routing and so on. The real configuration is firstly done when you go into the webgui, and in the webgui you select if it should be a gateway or if it should be a management station, or if it should be both, if it should be part of a cluster and so on. So this is the same process as the checkpoint management. This process will install the checkpoint Gaia R80.40. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I do. And I pick Swedish one because I actually made a mistake in well, a long time ago, and I needed to reinstall the box. And here I will show you here, if you try to put like too big file size here or too big, it will say like you need to have between 7 and 96 gig, and that's depending on that we have 250 gig. So I will put it to 90, and it will resize the log partition and so on. And I don't really care about that one, because the log shouldn't be saved on the gateways. The log should be transferred to the management station, and I will show you how to do that as well. You need to select the click box in the a tick box in the gateway, but let's do OK. And here you type a password, and OK. And now it's checking the interfaces, and keep in mind that we have 3 links here, but we only want to manage the system from one part. And this is the reason why I didn't have them connected from start. So we want to manage, meaning we want to have the management station connecting to this firewall via Ethernet 1, and that's where we want to have the IP address. You can of course do check links and so on, and you can blink the port. So if you have like an appliance, you can do a blink selected port, and it will flash a light on the physical appliance. Recheck link you can use if you disconnect the cable, and then you can just recheck them if something did come up or something did go down. But we have VMware, so we can just connect it and disconnect it virtually, so that's nice. So press OK, and we will have an IP, and we did agree on having, I think it was 2. Yeah, it has 2. So 2. We don't need a default gateway here, because this is not our default gateway to the internet. It's more likely that the gateway itself will be the default gateway here. So press OK. Do you want to format all your drives? Yes, I do. The installation is complete. To complete the first time wizard, you need to go to the HTTP website, As I said before, you can do it in CLI, but that's not part of the CCSA, so it's definitely not part of the CCSA. So let's reboot. And I just wanted to show you, now I have all 3 boxes up, and we're using 18 gigs of memory, and we're using quite a lot of CPU as well. I have actually ordered more memory, so hopefully we can do even MDS lab, and that's for like well, CCSA and above. Nice colors in well, in R80.40 it's only blue, but in the older version it's the strange coloring. So it's up, and we can of course log in, same as I did show you before, but we need to continue with the webgui to finish the first time wizard. So let's do that. So we have our Windows 10 machine here, and then we need to go to the box, and that will be .2. So here we have the certificate error, and we need to do details and then go to the web page and just log in. And this is the first time wizard, and it's platform VMware. Next, and continue with the R80.40. And we have Ethernet 1, that is to our management station. And we will have Ethernet 0 to the internet. And we will configure that one as well. And we needed to have this IP address in my case. Oh, it didn't work. 159, and it was 101, I think. Let's just verify that. Yeah, 101. And then next, and we will call it CP Gateway 1. And we will have it manually, and we do it in Stockholm. And next, and it will be a security gateway or a security management server. Multi-domain is deselected. I think that's due to not enough performance on this box. So next, and it should not be a security management server. We deselect that one, and it should be part of a cluster. And we're using Cluster Excel, and we can download the data and blades and so on automatically. And this is the SIC, and I will put checkpoint as a password here. And if you didn't know this already, SIC is when you want to connect your management station to your gateways, and this is a one-time password, and it's used to more or less connect it, and then they will use certificates when they talk to each other. So this is a one-time password, and you can click here to learn more about SIC, but we don't have internet here, so it's a bit hard. So next, and we can send some data to checkpoint because this is a lab. If you have it in production, maybe you should turn this off, but well, finish. And do you want to start? Yes. And then it's doing the configuration and checking that everything is hunky-dory, and this takes a few minutes, and then you're up and running. And this is done, so let's press OK to save some time. Then the system is rebooting, and when it's rebooted you will be presented with a page to log in, and you will come to the Gaia webgui, the portal, so to say. So the box is rebooted, and I just wanted to point one thing out. Here you cannot see the name. In R80.40 you get presented the name, so if we, I will show you. So HTTPS, and then 200. So here in R80.40 you see that they have added the names. So that's the difference. Small, but I don't know, good, I think. Log in. So now we have this, and we can see here in network interfaces, and we have no link, and this one we haven't configured at all. So let's do like this. Let's connect all the links. So settings, this one, connect, this one, connect, press OK. Hopefully this should refresh now. And now this is up. And this gateway should have internet now. Let's log into it. So we do download PuTTY, and let's connect to the gateway 192.168.2 and accept admin and ping. Of course we cannot ping. We haven't put the default gateway. Well, you should learn networking before you start with Checkpoint. So here, IPv4 static routes. And here you have the default gateway. And we will edit this one. And we will put a gateway. And my gateway in this VMware network is 159, and it's actually .2. I don't know why. I don't know VMware that good. So just press OK here. And save, and hopefully now we should reach it. Now we're reaching it. And just as an information, for me to find this out, I needed to put like my Windows 10 machine on this network, put it in DHCP, and more or less trial and error until I found it, like, oh, this is the gateway for this network. So what does it mean when we have internet on this gateway? Well, we get some cool things. First of all, if we go into CPUSE, we will see that CPUSE requires a valid license to download, and we have a trial license because we just installed this from scratch. And we see that we have a really old deployment agent version, but I will do check for updates. We don't have a DNS, so let's put the DNS as well. You see here it cannot establish connection to Checkpoint Cloud. And make sure that one proxy DNS and routing is configured. Well, we don't have a DNS in this one, so let's put the DNS. So host and DNS, and we put the primary DNS, and we can use Google. Apply. Let's go back to status and actions and do the check for updates. And here you see when we have internet, it's starting to install and update the deployment agent automatically. So that's really nice, and it starts to download also like packages that you can use for installation. Let's wait for this update to be finished for the deployment agent, so we see that we have the same version as we did in the management station. And we actually already see this in the background, or we did see it briefly. Hopefully it comes up again. Here we have, it's updated to 1928 automatically. We just needed internet for it. And it's also presenting us with all the hotfixes and major installation versions if we want to upgrade. And in this case, we will just go for the jumbo hotfix. So first we will do more and then download. You can see here, at least I'm using my full bandwidth at home. I have, well, like 100 megs at home. So Checkpoint can at least provide that one. When I'm at work, it doesn't fill the line, if we say it like this. So now it's downloaded, and as always, you should do Verifier. and here we see that the verifier is okay. And I just wanted to note this one, 2.6.18. That's the Linux kernel. There is also 3.10. In R80.40 the default is 3.10, but in previous versions it's 2.6.18. So press OK here, and then we're going to install the update, and we will restart the machine automatically. Just some side note here. Under important information, you see if the packet need to do cp stop and cp start, and also if it needs the machine to reboot. More or less, you know here like the impact of what you're actually doing. Like, is this going to be a production outage, or can this be done without notice? If you're installing hotfixes on a cluster, you can do it so it's not a production outage. There will be a small failover in a few milliseconds, and some specific packages will not survive this failover, but it's more or less a refresh in the web browser and then it's working again. I mean, for all the traffic as well. Most traffic, if not all, is synced between the cluster members if you're running clusters. So the outage when you're doing upgrade with HFAs is more or less none. Of course, if there is any issues or you don't have the correct sync between the two members, well, then you have an outage. So it's always good to do upgrades during like a maintenance window. Same as the management station, it will show the process here, like how many % on each part, what it's doing, and when it's done it will be green. And which one of these are depending on if it's a gateway, if it's a management server. Like this is gray, so it's not even considered because this is for management and it's for endpoint. So same with smart logs, because product is not installed, this is a gateway, so it will be skipped. So this, depending on how fast this is going, is depending on how fat box you have and which packages you're running. So when this is done, the system is rebooting as we did allow it to do so. So the box has been rebooted, and you see that even in the Jumbo we have gotten this new feature to show the name within the login page. If we want to check that everything is up and running correctly, we can first go into status and action, and we see that the Jumbo has been installed and it's passed the self-test, so that's great. And if you want to check it in CLI, you just go to PuTTY and you log into the gateway .2, and you do, let's do this correct this time. Then you do lock database override, and then you do set expert password, and you type your password, and then you type expert, and you can log in. And now you can do cp info-y all. And here you see the update that's on it, the build numbers and so on. So you see that this is the build number, and you have the Jumbo hotfix take 214. You can also see that there is a lot more stuff, and as I said before, this output is normally something that you put in your cases if you do case to checkpoint for support reasons. I will pause the video and then I will do the gateway number 2. I will do it exactly the same, and when it's up and running we will connect both of them to the checkpoint management station in a cluster. I just realized that this took a lot longer than I was expecting, so we will cut this video into 2 parts. So this is part 1, and part 2 will be when we actually connect the gateways to the management station and we do some rule base and so on. So hope to see you in part 2. Take care, bye.